Let me continue. On 15th and 16th October, we completed demonstrations on Web UI. Today, we'll continue with the first topic of our course. Here, we are learning Web UI programming. Under this, I'm going to teach first topic as HTML4, second topic CSS2, third topic JavaScript. Here, third topic here it is JavaScript, fourth one jQuery, here fifth one Ajax, here sixth one, okay, fourth one HTML5, then fifth one CSS3, then sixth one jQuery, here seventh one will be here Ajax, here eighth one will be responsive design, then ninth one will be here Bootstrap, here 10th one will be here lessons as programming, here 11th one will be project, 12th one will be exam. So this project and exams I'll continue in the weekend session. Total duration of my content will be here next 2 months. Next 2 months I'm going to continue on all these topics. Here we already know HTML is a hypertext markup language. It mainly creates skeleton part of the web page. Okay, we discussed that HTML creates skeleton part of the web page. Here always UI, when you enter any URL, it will connect with the server page, server connected to database. In this UI page, here first topic here it is HTML4. Under this HTML4, here first topic HTML here it is a hypertext markup language. Here markup means here tag based programming. Here tag based programming. Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. Instruction to browser. We can give our instructions to the browser in the form of tags. Here these tags are here, pair and unpair. Like that we have some tags, we'll discuss that. So basic skeleton of the web page, here skeleton part of web page, we can create it using HTML. Using HTML, we can create basic skeleton part of the web page. Okay. Basic skeleton part of the web page is by HTML. Next one, CSS, it will create basic alignment of the web page. Here, basic alignment of the web page is by CSS. HTML is creating basic skeleton part of the web page. CSS is giving alignment of the web page. CSS, here it is. Cascading style sheet. So this is what here, basic alignment of the web page, alignment of web page, and background color, colorful structure of the web page. Background color, border color, text related colors, font related styles, text related styles, all we will learn it under this CSS. Here, next one, JavaScript. Here, JavaScript add JavaScript will add functionality to our application. Here, JavaScript will add functionality of web page. Here, web page, we can create it with this JavaScript. It's a client-side scripting language. Here, it's a client-side scripting language. It's a browser executable programming. It directly creates functionality. So validations, cookies, local storage, etc. We'll learn it under JavaScript. Okay, that is third topic. jQuery here it is a external library of JavaScript. Here jQuery is a external library of JavaScript. Here JavaScript only, but it is a external library. External library of JavaScript, we call it as jQuery. Here only you can find it here, jQuery 3.7.1.js. Here, similar way you can find it here, jQuery cycle.js, jQuery validation.js, here jQuery ripple.ui.js. Like this, we have so many jQuery files. With that, we can add our application to the jQuery. So because of this jQuery, we can add all our outputs for our application. So directly JavaScript only, we can use it in this way. Here, next one here it is Ajax. Ajax here, it is a asynchronous JavaScript and XML. We call it as Ajax. Just I'm giving brief about that. Here, Ajax here it is here, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So we discussed that yesterday. So it is a client when you send your request to client to server. So without redirection, without refreshment, here without refreshing, without redirection, here itself without redirection, if we get output for our application, that is what here Ajax. Ajax here it is a asynchronous JavaScript and XML. In this time you will understand here how we'll get output for our application. Next one here, responsive design. Here responsive design time you will understand here how to make our application for mobile phone, tablet, desktop. In all different resolution, how to show our output, that you will understand under responsive design. Under responsive design, you will understand here how to create our application for mobile phone, tablet, desktop. Next one here, lessons as, that is a superset of CSS. Here, superset of CSS, we call it as lessons as. Next one here, it is Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a just ready-made framework. It's a framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML, CSS, JavaScript framework only, we call it as Bootstrap. So like this, we have all these topics. Okay. Here, responsive design time, you will understand here all lessons as and all. So responsive design time, how can you develop your application for mobile phone, tablet, desktop? And lessons as just it is a superset of CSS. Bootstrap is a framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So like this, we discussed here all our output. Responsive design, lessons as Bootstrap, Ajax. Ajax here, when your client send a request to server, in that client server architecture, so without redirection, without refreshment, if you get output for our application, that is Ajax. Here, jQuery is an external library of JavaScript. Here, JavaScript anyway we know. So this is the basic information we discussed in the last 2 days. So now I'm going for the first topic, HTML4. In this HTML is a hypertext markup language. Your first topic here, HTML4. HTML is a hypertext markup language. Here, language, under this, markup means here, tag-based programming. So if you want to learn any programming language, that programming has to be learned by their own instructions. We have to learn the instructions of that particular language. So with that language only, we can execute our program. So HTML is completely tag-based programming. Tag is nothing, markup language here. It is a completely tag-based programming. Here, tag-based programming. And tag is nothing but here it is an instruction to the browser. Here, instruction to the browser. We have to give our instructions or all instructions in the form of tags. Here, these tags are here two types. Two types of tags we have. Here, one is paid tag. Here one is paired tag, another one is here unpaired tag. Two types of tags we have. One is paired tag, another one unpaired tag. Here under this paired tag, so one is paired tag here, paired tag here. This paired tag generally will write it here, tag name start and the tag name close like this. This is paired tag. Similar way, we can write it here. Second category of tags are here unpaired tags. These unpaired tags are here. Whenever you start the tag name, definitely you need to close the tag like this. This is unpaired tag. Here tag name start and close. If you write like this, this is unpaired tag. Here we are learning here two types of tags. One is pair, another one unpaired. So we'll see here what all the list of tags comes under pair, what all the list of tags comes under unpaired. Okay. Here pair tags example here body tag, head tag, HTML tag. Example for this here body tag, head tag, here head tag, then style tag. Here like this all the list of tags comes under pair tags. Here these all the list of tags comes under pair tag. Here unpaired tags are here. Example for this image SRC is used to display images. BR tag for break line, HR tag for horizontal line, input element, input type text, input type button, input type radio, all comes under input elements. Like this, we have all the list of tags. Okay, so this way only generally we'll write our tags for our application. Any HTML application generally will write it like this. All HTML tags for our program, we can write it like this. Okay. Here, next I'm going for here, etc. All comes under pair tags and pair tags. So basic structure of HTML. If you want to write first example of HTML, we generally write it here. Doc type, HTML start, HTML close. Under this HTML start and close, you can see that here head tag and body tag. Head and body for our application, we can show this. Here under this head section, whatever tags I'm showing here, those all comes under head tags. Here style tag, it is a pair tag. Script tag is also a pair tag. Style tag and script tag we used to write our CSS and JavaScript code. This code will write it under this head section. Under this head section only, we'll write it here, style and the script. Here, under this body tag, we can write it here, all our other tags. Here, all our other tags generally will write it here under this body. So I'm writing here HTML tag, head tag and body tag for our application. Under this body tag, whatever tags we write it here, all will write it here under this body. So here HTML head and body, we generally write like this. For execution of the program, we will use it here, VS Code. VS Code will use it here to execute our programs. In this VS Code, see, just to go to the Google. So IDE will use it. Java students will use Eclipse. .NET students will use .NET related projects. Same way here, this programming, in this UI programming, we will use that UI related all IDEs. Okay, here IDEs are here, integrated development environment to write our programs. So that is one here, VS Code, Autumn, brackets, here, brackets, NetBeans, here Eclipse, here, etc. all comes under IDEs. Here, different IDEs we have. IDE here, it is a integrated development environment. In this IDE, so here we usually develop our IDE with all this. IDE here, it is a integrated development environment. Here, NetBeans, Eclipse, these all comes under IDEs. Here in this IDE, how to develop our application, we understood. Here paired tags, unpaired tags, here that HTML tags, and IDE we observed like this. IDE here it is an integrated development environment. Here only you can see that here paired tags will write like this, unpaired tag will write like this. Here first we are going for how to install VS Code and how to write our first program. To write our HTML programs, we will use it here, VS Code. So go to the Google, here go to the Google, search for VS Code. Here under this VS Code, you can find it here, vscode.exe file. Exe file, you can find it. In this exe file, here in that vscode.exe file, so once you double click on it, here couple of next clicks, it will be installed in our system. So couple of next clicks, it will be installed in our system. Here, once it is installed, you can directly use that VS Code to execute our programs. Okay, here go to the Google, search for VS Code. Here I'm searching for VS Code. See, code.visualstudio.com. Under this, you can find downloads option. Here, by this, it will show you that downloadable VS Code. Here, once I click download option, see it is downloading in that downloads folder. See, go to the downloads folder. You can see that here like this, VS Code setup file will be installed in our system. See here, VS Code setup file is installed in our system. So this is one setup file. Okay, so once you double click on it, see double click. Once you double click on it, it will be installed in your system. Here, I'll accept and agree the condition. You can check. Here, by the next button, it will be installed in our system. So once you click on install button, it will be installed in our system. So here, just I can click on yes. So by that, I can exit. Why? Because I already installed that. See here, VS Code. Screen missing. Oh, okay. So every time I have to. Yeah. So one more time. See, it is in downloads option. So once you double click on it, here I agree terms and condition. Again, you have to share. Yeah. See here, agree terms and condition. Next button. Here, this is VS Code. Click on next button. See, this is VS Code. Click install. So by that, I can install that VS Code into our system. So once it is installed, go to the computer start button, search for VS Code. So by this, VS Code will be opened in our system. So here you can see that along with that, you can see one VS Code into our system like this. See, VS Code is opened in my system. So once this VS Code is opened in our system, so you can find it here, file, open, folder option will be there. File, open, folder. So by this, you can open your folder in our system. So go to the documents here. See, under this, after opening that VS Code, here we are going for computer start button. Here, start button, go to the VS Code. Under this VS Code, you can find it here, that VS Code related here exe file. Sorry, computer start button, open VS Code. There is a file option here. File, open, folder option will be there. Open folder. Under this open folder, you can select your own folder for our application. That is what here I am creating here one 6 a.m. folder for our batch. I am creating one 6 a.m. folder for our batch. Under this 6 a.m. folder, I created one HTML4 folder. Here, this is what we are subfolder. Subfolder I'm creating. Under this, you can create your 1.html program. Here, 1.html program, you can create it like this. So this way, generally we'll write it. Here, in this time, we are writing here that application will be like this. So now, here file, open folder option. Under this open folder, documents, here, here 6 AM folder. So I'll create one more one. Here 6 AM folder I created. Just I'll select that 6 AM folder. Here select folder. Here 6 AM folder is selected in our system. Under the 6 AM folder, you can find it here, two folders. One is new folder, another one new file. Here I'm selecting new folder, that is HTML4 folder. Under this, I'm creating one new file here, that is what here, 1.html. Here, that is what here, 1.html. Under this, doc type, here itself HTML start, HTML close. Under this, you can write it here, head start and close and body start and close. Head and body tag we show you for us. Here under this, we can write it here. Style tag we use it here for writing CSS code. Script tag we use it here for writing JavaScript code. Here style tag we use it here for writing CSS code. Here this is CSS code. Here this is JavaScript code. Here JavaScript code. Okay, this way generally we'll write it. So this is the basic structure and this is the way only we can write our programs in Visual Studio Code. We will use Visual Studio Code to write our programs. Here, this way only we'll write it here, our application. Visual Studio Code, we can use it to execute our program like this. Here, we are writing here head and body. Under this head section, we can write it here CSS code and JavaScript code. Under this body, we can write it all our HTML tags. Here, all HTML tags, we will write it here. HTML tags, we will write it here under this. So I'm writing here HTML head and body like this. Here, I'm writing 1.html. Here, inside this. Suppose if you don't write anything, so I'm removing all this. Here, I'm not writing anything. Control yes. See, just I'll write welcome. Okay, I'm not writing any code in this, just I'm writing welcome. So by this, you can see that here how this code will get executed. So for execution, I'm going to the folder 6 AM HTML4. Here 1.html, double click. See here, you can see welcome. But see here, I'm not writing any basic structure for this. Here, you can see that execution welcome. Even if you don't write any code in this, when you right click inspect element on this, see here, you can see here HTML head and body. Here HTML head and body is the standard code here. HTML starting, closing, head and body tag generally you can show you as the standard code for our HTML. HTML head and body tag is the standard code of HTML. We will develop like this. Under this, see, once you read, even if you don't write anything, you can see that HTML head and body is the standard code. Okay, but according to W3org, we have to write the standard code here in VS Code or any HTML, any name with the extension of .html. That standard code will be here, exclamation, doc type, HTML start, HTML close. Here under this, we can write it here, head start and close and body start and close. Here head and body tag. Here under this head section, we can write it here, style tag and the script tag. Style tag as well as script tag, we use it here for writing CSS code. Here, style tag, we use it like this, and the script tag, we use it like this. Style tag and the script tag, we use it. Here, under this body section, we can show you. Here, under this body section, we can show you all our HTML tags. Okay, one by one, pair tags, what all pair tags, what all unpaired tags, one by one, we'll learn it. To execute this HTML program, we have to use directly, you can open that file in VS Code. Here only, you can check it here. Suppose if you open your 1.html program, you can directly open it to execute. Here directly you can open it in browser. You can directly open it in browser one way. Here another way here, go to the VS Code. There is an extensions. Under this extensions, search for. Here we are going for VS Code extensions. Under this extensions, you can find it here. Here VS Code extensions. Under this VS Code extensions, you can find it here, live server. So live server is one extension. Under this live server, you can see that here. Here, just click on install button. Install button. Once you click on install button, here it will be installed in our system. So it will be installed in our system. VS Code will be installed in our system. So once that VS Code is installed in our system, automatically you can execute your 1.html program. You can right click on it. Here, right click on it. After right click, here you can find it here. Right click, open with live server. So you can directly open your program with a live server. So by this, you can see that execution of the code. How it will be, I'll show you step by step. One more time, I'll explain, listen carefully. I'm writing my program, I'm executing my programs in VS Code. Okay, so first I have to install Visual Studio Code. After that, I have to open and I have to create my folders, main folder, subfolder, and 1.html program. This 1.html program, how can we execute? See, I'll write it here. This way, HTML tags. So now in this time, suppose if I write it here, welcome message. Welcome to HTML, I'm writing here, Control yes. So to execute this program, go to the extension, search for live server. Here, search for live server. See, this is our live server. So just click on install button of that live server. So by that, live server will be installed in our system. So once you click on install button of live server will be installed in our system. See here, it will be installed. Right click, open with live server. So by this, your program will be opened in the live server. See here, go to the live server, click on install button, go to the program, right click, open with live server. So by this, your program will be opened in the live server. Here, your program will be opened in the live server. See, this is the, see here, IP address, port number. Here, IP address, port number, folder name, file name. IP address, folder, port number, folder name, file name. This way you can see, and execution here, welcome to HTML. If you right click inspect element on this, see here, doc type HTML head and body is the standard code. Here you can find it here, elements. Under this, you can find it here, doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of HTML. Here only you can find it here, doc type HTML head and body tag. Doc type here it is document type of HTML, HTML starting tag, ending tag, head starting tag, ending tag, body starting tag, ending tag. Okay, like this we can write. Okay, head tag is used to write header information, body tag is used to write body part of our application. So this way generally we'll write it here, our HTML tags. I'm writing elements, doc type HTML, HTML start and close, head start and close, body start and close. This way generally we'll write our code. Here, I'm executing my program here with a VS Code. That IP address and the port number, that folder name, all will display like this. Here, this way you can execute your program of this one. Here, this way only will execute our program. See here, one.html, right click on it, open with live server. By that, your program will be opened in the live server. Normal execution, directly you can open your file in the folder structure. So that execution will be like this. Directly you can open your one.html in the folder. So two ways you can execute your program. One is with the live server, another one is here directly opening our file with a browser. So two ways you can execute your program like this. Here we are going for Google VS Code exe file. Once you double click on it, there is a next button. It will be installed in our system. So once you click start button in VS Code, there is a file option. Here you can open the folder. Here there is a file option. You can go for open folder. Here we have to create one folder and select that folder. See, 6 AM folder will come into our workspace. Under this, there is a two options here. One is new file, another one new folder. Once I click new folder, here new folder will be opened like this. Under this new folder, you can see that here your one.html program. Okay, so I can create my one file here, that is one.html. Under this one.html program, you can see that here, that execution of the code will be here. Writing of code will write like this. After this, to execute it, go to the extension, search for live server, see click on install button. So live server will be opened. So right click open with live server. So by this, that live server will be opened in our system. So program will be opened in the live server like this. Here, this is one execution, welcome message. This is one more execution, open with live server. Here, now you can see that here, that execution of this code will be like this. Here we are going for extension, search for live server. By that, live server will be installed in our system. You can execute your program with a live server. By that, you can see your output for our application. Here, this way generally will show that execution. Here we are writing here doc type HTML head and body is the standard code. Here list of pair tags are here. HTML starting tag, ending tag, head starting tag, ending tag, body starting tag, ending tag. So like this, we can write it here, all our HTML tags. Here head start and close, body start and close, and HTML start and close. This way generally we'll write it here, all our HTML tags. Here HTML content will write like this. Here HTML folder I'm creating, one.html is my file. Under this I'm writing my code will be like this. Okay, this way only we'll execute our code. Okay, this is what here, head start and close, body start and close, welcome message, we can print it like this. This is the way we can execute our program. When you right click, open with live server. Here, by that, you can open your program with a live server like this. Okay, this is the way we can execute it. Here, now I'm explaining here what all the list of pair and unpair. Here, head tag, body tag, style tag, script tag. Along with that, we have so many other tags we have. We are learning only HTML tags here. Under this HTML tags, what all the list of tags comes under pair and unpair, you can check it. Here, pair tags and unpair tags. Here, I'm explaining here, one is pair tag. This pair tag generally will write it here whenever you start the tag name start, tag name close, will write like this. Here, example for this, here, starting HTML tag is also a pair tag. Head tag is a pair tag. Style tag is also a pair tag. Script tag is also a pair tag. Here HTML head and body script, then style, then H1 to H6. H1 to H6 all comes under pair tags. Here H1 to H6 all comes under pair tags. Paragraph tag is also a pair tag. Div tag is also a pair tag. Here table tag is also a pair tag. Like this, we have some list of tags, etc., etc. All comes under pair tags. Here, this list of all tags comes under pair tags. So we are learning here pair tag. Generally, we'll write all pair tags like this. Here, this way only we'll write it. Okay. So second category of tags are here unpaired tags. Here, generally we'll write the tag syntax. Here we'll close it like this. Example for this. Here, example for this here. Image SRC is used to display images. Here, BR tag for break line. HR tag for horizontal line. Input type text, input type button, input type radio, all comes under input elements. Here, HR tag, BR tag. Here, like this, we have some list of tags. All the list of tags all comes under unpaired. Here, like this, we have some list, all comes under unpaired. Source tag, frame, all comes under unpaired. Okay, see here, I'll show you that pair and unpaired. Under this, I'm explaining here how to write H1 to H6. Here, H1 tag, see, without any tag, if you write your content, by default, output will come like this. If you don't write any tag, by default, that content will come like this. If you write the heading tags, see, here I'm writing heading 1. So some heading tag I'm writing, see here, without any tag inside the body, without any tag, if you write the content, output will be like this. Because of H1 tag, output will be like this. Okay. Here, welcome tag, it is displaying like this, and that heading 1 tag, because of H1, it is displaying like this. Here, this way only we can execute. Here, under this, we can write it here, H1, H2, H3. See, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, like this, we can write all heading tags. Here, heading tags, we are writing like this. So H1 to H6, all different heading tags, we can write it for our program like this. H1, H2, H3, H4, all heading tags we are writing for our application like this. Here, now you can see that here heading 5, heading 6. See, I'm writing here all HTML tags for our application like this. So next I'm writing paragraph. Here you can write a lorem 10. 10 words of paragraphs we can write it here. Lorem is one keyword. P tag is for paragraph. Lorem followed by, if you write 2 words. If you write lorem 5, so 5 words. If you write lorem 9, see 9 words. Like this, we can write it here, all our paragraphs. Here, H1 to H6, all paragraphs will be like this. See here, heading here, bigger size heading. This is smaller size heading. Here it is smaller size heading. This is what here, bigger size heading. H1 to H6, we'll use it as our smaller to bigger size headings will be like this. Here, welcome message, we are printing like this, and heading tags, all headings will be like this. H1 to H6, all different headings. Here, paragraph is used to display paragraph content. So this way generally will display our output for our application. Okay, this way only we'll write it. Heading, if I write it here, H1, see when you right click, inspect element on this. See here, H1. So this is font size of 2 EM. 2 EM is the font size of heading. Here first heading tag. Here 2 EM is the font size of H1. H1 and H2, both are displaying for us. Here, H1 by default, that font size of 2 EM. H2, if you check it here, 1.5 EM. H3, if you check it here, see this is 1.17 EM. H4, if you check it here, no font size. H5, if you check it here, 0.83 EM is the font size. Here, H6, if you check it here, 0.67 EM is the font size. Like this, it will display here H1 to H6, all different font sizes. Here, H1 to H6, all different font sizes for our application will be like this. Here, H1, it is displaying here bigger size heading, that font size of 2 EM. H2, if you check it here, 1.5 EM. H3 here, 1.17. H4, no font size. H5, 0.83 EM is the font size. Here, H6, if you check it here, that font size of 0.67 EM is the font size. Here, like this, we can write it here, H1 to H6, all different sizes. Here, all different sizes. Here, all different sizes for our application will write like this. Okay, so here, that based on that CSS, see this half code is CSS, this half code is HTML. Because of this heading tags, how it is displaying that output, this is what here totally CSS code for a particular, so output will come like this. So up to now what I have covered here, this is totally about the pair tags. To know what I have covered here, these all totally related to pair tags. We are learning here pair and unpair. Under this, these all list of tags all comes under pair tags. Here, next unpaired tags I explained here like this. So I'm explaining here list of pair tags and unpaired tags. Under this HTML, what all the list of pair, what all the list of unpair, you can check it like this. Okay, here pair, starting tag, ending tag, unpair, starting tag, and here itself will close it. This is unpaired. Okay, so I'll explain this unpaired tag in the next session. And everyday class I'm uploading in one drive. So, but I have only 2 students mail IDs. I shared only for 2 students this drive access. Yesterday, I didn't got any list from organizer. So I think you're not responded to organizer's call and you didn't contacted organizer. See, for 6 AM October batch, I got only 2 mail IDs. But here in today's session, you all see, I got only 2 mail IDs. See, this is 2 mail IDs. Here, you can check it here that VS code is like this, and the 2 mail IDs here, this one, here, this drive. So what I said here, that 6 AM drive, here you can check it here, the 6 AM drive is shared with the 2 students. See here, you can check. See, this is my 6 AM drive. This drive is shared with only here. This is the drive. In this everyday recording I'm uploading. Okay, so yesterday's one not uploaded, but 15th one I uploaded, and also I'll upload today's one and 15th one, 16th one, everything I'll upload here. And this drive is shared with only 2 students. See here, this drive is shared with the 2 students, Mahadasa and top returns, who I don't know, but I shared with only 2 students. Here, remaining students who are in my class, so complete your registration. Muhammad and Bharat, complete your registration today itself. Contact organizer. In the chat window, they shared their all complete details in the chat window of this Zoom call. Contact them and complete your registration before coming to tomorrow's class. Tomorrow again, they'll change the link. The link will be changed for the next class. Why? Because we entered in the first topic, so link will change. Who are not registered, complete your registration. Let me get your mail address. If you already completed your registration with the DURGASOFT organizer, contact ma'am for confirmation. why I didn't got your mail ID. Contact DURGASOFT organizer and let me know. Yes, Bharat, what is your doubt?
No, ma'am, nothing. Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't got your mail address, right? Is it your first session?
Yeah, yeah. This is my first session, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to follow?
Yes, I'm follow. Ma'am,
So
just one thing is like even I need to watch yesterday's and previous session also.
yeah. This drive, if once you get this drive, every recording will be there.
Okay, okay.
So every
No, I
recording.
mean I need to watch.
Yeah. You can, no need. What I covered today, that is only yesterday. I gave today brief information.
Okay, fine.
If
Okay,
you want, you can go for that, go through that. But complete
okay.
your registration.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. That's it for
Okay.
today. We'll meet tomorrow for the continuation of our class. Thank you.
Thank you.